This court's going to call cause number DV1904512. This is in the 273rd District Court of Sabine County, Texas. It's in the interest of Isabel Marlowe. Ms. Marlowe, please raise your right hand. Ms. Marlowe, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Mr. Heath Trussell, please raise your right hand and tell me that your hand is in the air.
Hand is in the air.
Mr. Trussell, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. McNulty, are you handling this case for state?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Do you have any other witnesses besides the parties?
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
The court's going to take judicial notice of its own file. Contained within my file is the controlling support order that was signed by me back in 2017. Okay, 2017. Nope, 2021. Wrong case. All right, back in 2021. You call your first witness, Mr. McNulty.
At this time, the state will call Ms. Marlowe. Ms. Marlowe, do you understand that in a previous order that was entered on March 17th of 2021, you were ordered to pay Mr. Trussell $280 a month in child support?
Yes, sir.
And do you also understand that you were ordered to pay $45 a month in cash medical support?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that as of February 29th of 2024, you have a current child support arrearage balance of $2,780.61?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you also have a medical support balance of $458.12?
Yes, sir.
Now, in this previous order, there was a finding that your average monthly income was $1,950 a month. Is that correct?
I'll take your word for it.
Well, in the time of that order, what were you doing back in 2021 or March 2021 when that order was entered?
I was receiving pandemic unemployment that ended, I think, in June or July of 21.
Are you currently working?
No, sir.
Do you have any health conditions that are preventing you from being able to work?
Yes, sir. For myself, I'm still dealing with the fallout from a concussion and a traumatic brain injury and a clavicle spinal injury. I see my my therapist weekly. I see my psychiatrist every 4 to 6 weeks, and I saw a neurologist finally for the first time back in January. And I talk to my PCP probably once a month or every other month. And I had previously faxed in all of that information and documents to the Office of the Attorney General Child Support Division. I didn't know until today, talking to Mr. Joseph and Ms. Sidney, that those documents weren't all available. I was trying to locate them in my paperwork, but I don't have the actual papers, but I have the people and the phone numbers to be able to contact people.
Okay. Now, Your Honor, at this time, the state would like to enter into evidence of State's Exhibit A, the payment record.
All right, let's make it that one.
Just take it. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Ms. Marlowe, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged pay record showing me the payments that you've made and the payments that you've missed to Mr. Russell. Is it okay if I look at this pay record?
Yes, sir.
Same question, Mr. Trussell. Is it okay if I look at this pay record?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. State's Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Marlowe, one of the documents we did receive was a physician statement that stated that you should only be working 20 hours a week. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I believe the one that you were showing me was from my psychiatrist. I receive services through the Harris Center for Mental Health and IDD. It's a program policy to list the 20 hours to provide additional support and referrals like to the Texas workforce.
Miss Marlowe,
Yes,
could
sir.
you do me a favor, please?
Yes, sir.
Just answer the question that Mr. McNulty asked you.
I apologize. I thought I was.
No, what you're doing is you're giving me a whole lot of additional information that I haven't been able to look at or see. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
right now you don't work for that company, so you don't have the authority or the ability to testify to what their policies are. Okay, you can testify to specific things that they do on your behalf, but you can't testify to their policies.
Yes, sir. I apologize.
That's all right. Go ahead, Mr. McNulty.
Ms. Marlowe, do you have any objection to Judge Webster looking over that physician statement? If I
No,
send
sir.
it to the court?
Absolutely.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask that the court review off camera as State's Exhibit B, the physician statement that was provided to us by Ms. Marlowe.
Mr. Trussell, the state has sent me something that they wish me to look at. It's the physician's statement in regards to Ms. Marlowe that she just testified to. Now, generally, I don't put these type of statements on the screen because that means they're broadcast to the internet and everybody can see them. Okay?
Okay.
Is it okay, Mr. Trussell, if I review this doctor's statement for Ms. Marlowe?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to look at that in camera. Go ahead, Mr. McNulty.
Now, you're saying that there's been additional documents that you might have sent in that from other doctors and from other health professionals saying that you shouldn't be working at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and can you testify to the court what they say about you not being able to work any amount of time?
I was told to apply for SSI, and I did. And I apologize. I was told that I was not cleared yet from the concussion and other things, and that I needed to anticipate a recovery timeframe that would be about a year to 18 months, if not longer.
Now, how are you currently supporting yourself?
A variety of domestic violence agencies. I'm a recipient of those, as well as my youngest daughter receives SSI, and I'm her rep payee.
And do you have any safety concerns about your address being and contact information being disclosed in any order that the court enters today?
Yes, sir. I filled out all of those documents. I also crime victims compensation. I filled out their request for anonymous address.
And what are your safety concerns about having that information disclosed?
I don't know who contacts who or how and in what ways. I don't want my location known.
Do you have any concerns about Mr. Trussell?
Not currently.
Do you have any concerns about any other third party that you're afraid might have access to your address?
Yes, absolutely.
And who do you have concerns about?
Helena's father, Michael Burris.
Have there
and
been
any of his family.
have there been any instances where they've made threats or have been violent towards you in the past?
No, it's more low level than that. That's the wrong word. Covert, no. Subtle maybe.
Okay. And do you have any other minor biological children who are below the age of 18?
Yes, sir. Besides Isabella,
Yes. How many other minor biological children do you have?
one.
And does this child live in the household with you?
Yes, she does.
Are you currently taking care of this child?
I am.
And is having to take care of this other child taking away from your ability to work?
It does frequently. She's medically complex. And while she does receive nursing support services, it's not always consistent. And when I don't have a provider, I frequently have lost a job or things of that nature because I didn't have consistent care for her.
I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
Are you next witness?
At this time, the state will call Mr. Trussell.
Yes.
Mr. Trussell, do you what kind of health insurance do you currently have for your child?
It's state insurance.
And you understand that as of February 29th of 2024, Miss Marlowe has a child support arrearage balance of $2,780.61.
Yes.
Are you asking the court today to order Miss Marlowe to pay back that full amount in the child support that's owed to you?
Yes.
And you also understand that she has a medical support arrearage balance of $458.12.
Yes.
And are you opposed to reducing Miss Marlowe's child support amount?
Yes.
And why do you oppose reducing her monthly child support amount?
Well, 'cause she hasn't stuck with the original agreement. Why would she stick with something less?
Thank you. I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
All right.
The official review started on October 27th of 2023.
Okay, so you're still in the middle of it.
Yes, sir.
And based on your testimony, Miss Marlowe, I'm going to assume that you have been the victim of domestic violence from a partner in your household.
Not exactly, but yes.
Well, you described a concussion. Did that not? How did that happen?
He was not a person in my household. He was my child's father.
He was
Subtle
who?
difference. He was my daughter's father.
Okay,
Subtle
so
difference.
well, I understand it from a judge's perspective. I don't consider it to be different because he's a member of your family because y'all have a child together. All right, so there was some domestic violence between you and the father of your second child. Is that correct?
My youngest child, yes. She's my baby 5.
Okay. That's the child that's currently residing in your household?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when did that happen? What year and the month?
The event, it ended June 24th, if that was the Friday of 2023. That's
Okay.
when he was arrested.
Okay. And they obviously they charged him with an offense?
Yes, sir.
Has it gone to court?
Yes, sir.
And what was the outcome?
a limited 8-year protective order and probation.
Okay. So the criminal charges were finished. He accepted a guilty plea and he's on probation for it.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, I mean, the best of your knowledge, that's what happened.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Now, the doctor's order that I'm looking at, this appears to be a doctor's order from your psychiatrist. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
All right. And he says that you struggle with PTSD and bipolar disorder. How long have you been diagnosed with bipolar?
When I was a teenager, although that it's a diagnosis they don't think fits any longer.
And they don't think you're bipolar anymore?
No, sir, I didn't respond to any of the mood stabilizers.
All right, so basically what you're telling me is that you're just still struggling with the PTSD.
Absolutely.
And that comes directly from a result of your domestic abuse from your prior father of your child.
No, sir, I've struggled with PTSD most of my life.
Well, Miss Marlowe, that's a problem for me. Okay. Because back in 2021, I set child support based on the fact that you were capable of working and earning a living. And nobody said anything to me about bipolar then. So why should I use that as a basis of reducing your child support now?
Because I wasn't given the opportunity in 2021 to provide any information for
Hold on, let's see.
that.
Let's see what you were not given an opportunity. Well, I mean, they filed the lawsuit. They served you with it. Why didn't you show up for court?
I did attend court, sir.
Okay. You sure did. All right. And did you tell me back then that you had problems with PTSD?
I don't clearly remember court from 2021. I remember the feeling of not being heard whenever the court was over.
So now I'm offended, Miss Marlowe. I'm offended because I was the judge in your case, and you're telling me that I didn't listen to anything that you said.
I apologize for offending you, sir. That's not my intent.
Okay. Well, here's the problem, Miss Marlowe. While I understand the nature of what it is that you're trying to tell me, I take my responsibility as a judge in regards to these children real serious. In fact, I'm deadly serious about how I take it. And I make it a pattern and a plan that I listen to everybody that's in my courtroom. Now, you might not have liked the ruling. You might not have liked the decision. But as I'm sure if I went back and looked at my record, I would advise you that you had a right to appeal my ruling. You had a right to appeal it. You had the right to hire an attorney and file a motion to change it. You didn't do any of those things.
Actually, sir, that's not accurate.
No? Did you appeal it?
When I had the ability to get the funding together, I did seek a lawyer and I did try to work that avenue with regards to the custody visitation and support.
Oh. Let me see. Well, so you talked to an attorney. Did you hire the attorney?
Yes, sir, I did.
Well, how come he didn't file a lawsuit? Or she?
I apologize, sir. I'm not sure I know how to answer that question.
You paid an attorney to represent you to either fix or correct or change the court order that I did in 2021, correct?
I apologize, sir. I feel very unsure of how to respond or answer your questions.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you the fact. The fact is that no person that represented you, Miss Marlowe, ever filed a lawsuit on your behalf in regards to this case after the court order from 2021 was completed in my courtroom. Right?
There should have been some documents that we sent to the court about visitation and support. They were over the summer, I want to say in 22.
Let me see. Hold on one second, Mr. McNulty. I have to look at it a page at a time, so sometimes it takes a little longer. Nope. Nothing filed in my court since the last order was done in 2021, except for this modification filed by the state. So whoever the attorney was that you hired, Miss Marlowe, to help you in this case, they didn't file anything on your behalf. Okay? All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So your current doctor, at least the one that I saw, said that you're capable of working 20 hours a week and that you would be released in August of 2024 or possibly reevaluated at that time. But this current release that you're under, this current doctor's order that you're under, does expire in August of 2024. Is that correct, Ms. Marlowe?
I believe so, for the one that you're looking at.
Right. I'm probably going to say the doctor's name incorrectly, but it looks like it's Akiwano. Yeah. Akawawo. I'm pronouncing it based on how he's got it spelled, so, or she's got it spelled.
So you can go in front of the judge and get the divorce.
You said, so this is your psychiatrist. Do you also have a medical doctor as well?
Yes, sir, and a neurologist.
Okay, and your neurologist has got you under doctor's care that says you can't work at all?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
So, wait, hold on. April the 10th work? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Marlowe.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Trussell,
Yes, sir.
is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
Well, just that not much has changed on this end. You know, we don't. She doesn't have much contact, no visitation. Again, I can't tell the kids where she lives. There's no address.
Right.
The individual that caused these concussions or issues are the same individual that she was living with our child during the case that you proceeded over. You know, Isabel is still in extensive therapy from the abuse and neglect from that household.
So it's gmail.com.
Okay.
She
Mr.
has
McNulty.
multiple
I'm sorry.
college
I'm
degrees.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, she has multiple college degrees. She's worked in the safety department and plants before.
Right.
You know, making close to 200,000. You know, so I guess that's all I got to say.
Mr. Trussell, I can't deny anything that you're saying, but I also can't deny the fact that she is currently under a doctor's care. It's there. I'm not a doctor, so I have to look at what the doctor's telling me as far as what her limitations are.
Understood, sir. Understood.
Mr. McNulty, the state has filed this motion.
Yes, Your Honor. So, according to
Ms.
Ms. Marlowe, yes. So, according to Ms. Marlowe's testimony, the income she was receiving at the time of that 2021 order was from a pandemic era relief that she was getting at the time that she testified that she's no longer receiving that income.
So what do you want me to do, Mr. McNulty?
The state is asking that her child support be adjusted based on the current circumstances and based on her current situation.
She doesn't have a job. She's not working. She doesn't have any income. What do you want me to set the child support on?
Based on her testimony, she said that not able to work because of a health condition.
So is the state asking me to set the child support and the medical support in this case to 0?
Yes, based on her testimony, because she's not able to work, we're asking to reduce it to at least 20 hours a week based on what was provided to us.
Okay, so you're saying that while she is telling you that one doctor says none, the fact that the other doctor says she could work a minimum wage job at 20 hours a week, you think that's how it ought to be set?
Yes, we're asking the court to set it based appropriately based on the testimony, but the evidence that we did get from that physician statement does say 20 hours a week, and that was a updated figure of how many hours that she could work at maximum. Income of 628 a month.
Yeah, that part's. I just needed to get your position, Mr. McNulty, on the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Marlowe, is there anything further you think I need to know about the case before I make a ruling?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Trussell? I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to get Mr. McNulty on the record as what his position.
No, that I'm okay.
All right. Of course, going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find, based on the testimony of Ms. Marlowe and the in-camera information that I have, that there has been a material substantial change in circumstance. Ms. Marlowe is currently under a doctor's care and is only allowed to work 20 hours a week, according to the evidence that I've seen. Therefore, I'm going to order Mr. Trussell to maintain the current health insurance that he has on the child. Ms. Marlowe's child support is going to be reduced to $75 a month plus $5 a month in cash medical. I'll grant judgments against Ms. Marlowe in favor of the state and Mr. Trussell for the child support pay record that's been submitted to me, and find that as of February the 29th, 2024, Ms. Marlowe is behind in child support, the amount of $2,780.61. Medical support, the amount of $458.12. Did I get those judgments right, Mr. McNulty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the child support is going to get paid back at a rate of $20 a month, the medical support at $5 a month, all payments beginning April the 1st of 2024. Ms. Marlowe will be responsible for court costs, but I will give her until September the 30th of 2024. Now, I'm going to grant the non-disclosure for Ms. Marlowe in regards to a third party. We have a problem, and we're going to go into that once we get off the record, but we'll figure that out. But Ms. Marlowe is entitled to the protections under the Texas Family Code in regards to non-disclosure. There is a prior person in her life that was guilty of domestic violence, and therefore that address will need to be kept out of the court order to make sure that whoever that person is doesn't find her through my court order. All right, Mr. McNulty?
I think that covers everything, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Marlowe, Mr. Trussell, for the record, the state's going to send me a court order. If it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it. I'm going to get it back to them, and they're going to make a copy of it and send it to each of you. Now, as before, you don't have to live with the ruling that I've made today. If either party is dissatisfied with my ruling, you have 3 business days for which to file written notice of appeal with the district clerk's office in Sabine County. Your appeal has to be in writing, has to be on file. You have to be specific in your appeal to tell the referring court what part of my ruling you disagree with. You're also responsible for sending